Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And in today's video, I will be going over what is the second best thing next to networking, which is technically still networking. For those that haven't seen Kaiser Clark's channel, number one, go subscribe to his channel. He puts out great stuff and he does go over what he is learning. I was on his podcast, The Hacker's Cash, filmed it about 3-4 weeks ago. He just put it out last week. Go check that out. A couple people on LinkedIn, I think one on YouTube, asked me to go a little more deeper in what I meant into that. So enough being said, let's just hop right into it. So pretty much what I said on his podcast was you got your standard of networking, right? Building your network within your industry. This is talked about a lot, and it is very, very much so true that you need to do this. So that's like when we talk about going to conferences, going to different local meetups like B-Side, some of the DEF CON meetups, meeting up with people in your industry, some of the hiring managers, some of your counterparts, some people that are in different niches. For me, being offensive security, some guys that are in or gals that are in car hacking security, right? That's what people think of as the overall bulk of networking. However, for me, in parallel, what I talked about was networking outside of your arena, right? For me, my new arena and going forward is cybersecurity, offensive security for that matter. The other arenas are, like I talked about in Kaiser's podcast, the Hackers on the Hackers Cash, was building networks outside of that. So, for instance, number one for me is HR recruiting and or HR business partners. People ask, why is that? Because it is always good to have good relationships with recruiters that are constantly looking to fill recs, especially when times are great or when they go from bad to good, similar to what we had from last year to this year, especially in an election year like this. They are getting slammed, and you get people that are just ransacking. I just had a recruiter that I was on the phone with, 1,200 applicants within a day, little over a day, pretty much 24 hours, right? In the period that she launched it on LinkedIn, how to close it out. When you have those relationships built and they pretty much know you, especially when you worked with them at an organization, that is critical and key, because not only do they know you and they could personally vouch for you, whether or not you work with them or not, but if you built those relationships, they know you on a personal level. They have insights to the managers, these hiring managers, directly. And a lot of them go to these happy hour events or these team events where they're there and they're invited, especially if they are an HR recruiter for that team and or HR business partner. They can get you firsthand on top on, meeting with usually it goes with the HR screening call. Then they go into the hiring manager interview, and then you got to meet the team for some kind of technical analysis, technical deep dive, right? They could get you that first spot on directly with the hiring manager, and possibly, depending on what kind of role or hire they're looking for, they could even set up a happy hour and or a lunch or even a dinner to meet out and you guys hash it out off the books, off the records. And a lot of times too, depending on how high you go, there is what you call confidential hires, right? Where certain managers, senior managers, director levels and above, they will be called those because they're a sensitive exit that's about to happen or in the process of being planned to happen. And they want to get someone in line and set up for when that happens. As soon as that person has exited out the company, they're ready to backfill that position, especially if it's a key role within the business, right? Especially being cyber. So, you want to get those relationships built because that's going to get you, again, front of the line. It might even be more valuable to the other portion of networking that we talked about. However, I do both. I would not say do one or the other. I would definitely do both. And don't just take from what the recruiter, and I mean, don't just take and take and take and expect. Make sure you give back. I have recruiters and those that see on LinkedIn from time to time that, or even friends that are managers that are looking for roles to fill, I will just repost it. Or if I know someone personally, I would reach out to them, set them up on a message on LinkedIn. They hash it out. I'm out the way. Whatever happens, that's between you guys. And I leave it at that. So always help out when you can. And also when you build your network, Someone else might get into jam, another company might take a hit, they might do some restructuring, reorging, and those people that you met, that you scratch their back when they need a helping hand. You get them up in line with one of your recruiter friends, and they're going to help you out in need in the future. So that's pretty much what I said on that. And again, those are really key. And especially even outside of that, when you're internal, when you're working with them, they're going to know you and know how you operate, know what you like, know what you're looking for. So when you're recruiting for your team, or they're your HR business partner, they're going to know what you want and what you're looking for. And again, for whatever reason in cyber, a lot of people do a lot of the copy and paste job requisitions. I wish managers went and worked with the HR people and teams, business partners, and developed new up-to-date job requisitions. I mean, you're still seeing a lot of pen tests, and I'm not talking about the government side, with CEH, CISSP, stuff like that, right? So it's a lot of cookie cutter, cut and paste stuff on these recs. Now, that's pretty much what I was trying to say in that podcast. It's best to do both. And, I know a lot of people too uh, might give you some slack about that, especially some of this newer generation, because, well, I mean, it is what it is. Recruiters are women, right? And I'm going to say it. People see it on LinkedIn. Most recruiters, most HR business partners are very, very attractive and good looking. It is what it is, right? So you have to conduct yourself accordingly. I'm not telling you to build relationships where you mess around with them, you sleep with them, you try to date them. That's not what I'm talking about, and that's not what I'm advising anyone to do. That's on you if you go that route and screw up like an idiot. I'm telling you to build authentic relationships from a business aspect and point of view and side of things, because that's going to help you out in the long run. Again, especially if you get in a jam, and you could also help them out in return when not just only help them out, but help out some friends and other people that you've met and built relationships, again, that you've networked with. So that is key. And I know some people might take that a wrong way, but I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. Most HR business partners and HR recruiters are very, very attractive. That's just what it is. I can't, it's out of my control to not make them attractive. But some people might take that the wrong way, and that's not what I'm trying to tell people to do as far as dating and going that route. So that's my quick video for today. That's what I wanted to touch on. And also, I would add that skill set to your tool belt. And also, not only that, they could help you with the resume. They could also help you for job interviews, especially if you got a good recruiter, you built that relationship. They work with not just offensive, I'm going to give an example, not just offensive security teams, pen testers, red teamers, but they work in the whole cybersecurity team as a whole. So from a threat hunter, incident response manager, blue team, operator, whatever, senior manager, director, and above, they know what to look for. They know what kind of questions these people are going to ask. They know what they're going to look for as far as keen insight, what's going to make a light bulb go off in their head saying, okay, if you do this route, go this way, answer this question this way, you're going to trigger something in them that is going to, say, oh, this candidate has something that I'm looking for, something that I value, something that it's going to be rare and hard to find. So, they could just give you great, great insight, especially not just, where you're at if you're working with them, but other ones in different sectors, whether, they operate different at Apple, they operate different at Facebook, they operate different at Royal Caribbean, they operate different at GoPro. They're going to give you different aspects and what they're looking for, and each one's going to be different. Each manager, each director, each VP. It's good to have different recruiters, different HR business partners at different types of organizations as friends, business relationships, because you're going to see a lot of insight, and it's going to add a lot of value and knowledge base to when you are going to look for a new role and having to interview and having to change up your resume. I mean, pretty much 95% of the thing is done. All you got to do is show up and have your shit together and be ready to answer honestly and correct your speaking dialogue if needed. So again, there's a lot of key value that I think, yeah, building the networking at conferences, stuff like that, happy hours is great and needed and necessary. However, the second piece of the puzzle is getting that insider trading info that I like to say at from the recruiter or HR business partner standpoint, because they're dealing with these managers, dealing with these internal teams, and not just from the manager or hiring manager standpoint. They're going to give you an overall aspect of the team because they're going to have familiarity with the team, right? They're going to be part of those. Most of the team members are going to be part of those interview panels, so they could give you key insights on uh, James, the threat hunter, likes this is what he likes, this is what he dislikes, this is how his personality is. Sarah, the incident responder, this is how she is. This is how her personality is. This is what she likes, dislikes, etc. So you could get a whole build of the scenario on your panel interview, on the hiring manager interview, and any other teams or managers that you're going to have to interact or interview with that you're going to be a part of the collaborative team, right? So that's what I was trying to make out my point. It wasn't trying to date or go mess around with the recruiters. That's not what I was trying to do. Build those relationships and you will get inside info. And trust me, I know I worked with a lot of recruiters, HR business partners, so I know what they do on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of them are busy and a lot of them work a lot of hours. However, a lot of them conduct a lot of time, whether it's conferences, expos, happy hours with these hiring managers and teams. So I know that for a fact and I have seen it. And again, this is not only value add for you. This is a skill set and tool in your belt. And I would highly, highly recommend it for everybody, not just in cyber, whether you're in physical security, finance, dev, coding, whatever, real estate, work, whatever the case may be. This is going to add value overall. And on top of that, they'll introduce you to their whole network. If you're a solid dude, solid girl, you don't mess around, you conduct yourself accordingly. Now that opens up and expands your network upon belief, because they have access, and a lot of them have really, really big networks, and not just on the work side of things, but also a lot of them know real estate people, and I'm especially in the Bay Area, a lot of HR people know real estate people for personal things, personal items. You want to start your own stuff on the side. They have a whole wide range of networking. So that's my video for today. Hope you like it. Please share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys this week. I'm going to be putting out some more videos as the storm has calmed. So see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.